best landing.
Hey parents, Carmine here with your video review of Star Wars Battlefront.
Go!
Normally for these reviews I give an introduction to the game, sum up the mature content within each of the major categories, and ultimately give a conclusion with final numbers and a recommended age. But with Battlefront, I can't really do that. It's such a simple, straightforward game with a small amount of content that I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'll still talk about the mature content, what little there is, but for this one I think it's also important to talk about whether or not this game is actually worth buying. Because hey, you or your kid might really be interested in a Star Wars game. The movie's right around the corner, so who wouldn't want to go and watch Star Wars and then come home and play Star Wars? It's a slam dunk win-win, right? Well, mostly yes. Star Wars Battlefront is a beautiful game that captures the look and feel of the original trilogy. You'll play on 3 iconic worlds and one that seems a bit more randomly chosen. You'll control easily recognizable characters and vehicles, fight with weapons that look and sound just like the ones in the movies, and even fight battles that could have definitely fit in with the original trilogy. The combat is really simple and it's easy to pick up and figure out. You don't have to worry about customizing weapons or earning kill streaks or dealing with a punishingly difficult progression system that heavily rewards the most dedicated players while simultaneously locking out the new, the less experienced, or the less skilled. And to top it all off, the game lacks any significant mature content. It's a Star Wars game after all, and DICE went to great lengths to make sure the game received a T ESRB rating. It doesn't matter what weapons you use, there is no blood or gore in this game at all. Hits from pretty much anything emit a sometimes gratuitous amount of sparks. The explosions send guys jumping into the air, flailing their arms just like the actors and stuntmen would in the movies. There is no mature language, no sexuality, no substances, no gambling, no princesses in metal bikinis, and definitely no Luke getting his hand chopped off by Vader. So why wouldn't you buy this game? Well, the problem is that the lack of content is a double-edged sword. There is no campaign, which is probably for the best, since campaigns are extremely expensive and have been universally disappointing in multiplayer-centric shooters since Modern Warfare 2. The tutorials and cooperative missions are fun and do give a breadth to the game. I love the Horde modes, but the problem is that there are only 4 levels in the entire game. You have Tatooine, Sullust, Hoth, and Endor. And yeah, the different game modes usually take place in different areas on those planets, but when you go through them all, they feel so much like the exact same map. Once you go through every mode on all 4 maps and play through the 24 missions that all take place in the exact same maps, you've literally done everything. The gameplay is simple and fun and easy to play, but this isn't a complex experience. Battlefront doesn't have that hook like Destiny, which compels players to try just one more strike and maybe get another exotic. Is Battlefront worth playing? Absolutely, but is it worth $60? That I'm much more hesitant about. If you're a big Star Wars fan, I think you'll find this enjoyable. If you like games like Battlefield 4 but don't like the insane progression systems that require you to unlock every attachment for every weapon, I think you'll find this enjoyable as well. But if you're either a hardcore shooter fan or short on cash and need to pick games that will give you the most bang for your buck, I'd have to say pass on this one. It's tough to recommend a game that may get you 20 hours of genuinely new content when there's games like Fallout 4 out now and games like Doom and The Division coming out in a few months. But in case you're looking into this game for your kids, here's the final numbers. It's gender-friendly, since players can choose to play as either male or female characters on both sides. Yes, there are now female stormtroopers, so if you have a daughter or sister who's interested, then don't hesitate. Ultimately, we gave this game a recommended age of 12 years old. But don't let that deter you. Basically, we believe that if your kid is old enough to watch Star Wars, then your kid is old enough to play Battlefront. Let me know in the comments what you think of Battlefront, and expect to see reviews for Black Ops 3, Halo 5, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Need for Speed coming soon.